Most people think they want more money. They don't. They want what they think more money will finally let them do. I spent years chasing a number, and the day I hit it, I felt exactly as stuck as the day before. That's when I figured out I was solving a wrong problem all this while. So by the end of this video, you'll probably understand why make more money is almost never the actual goal and what to aim for instead. So money finally starts working for you instead of just accumulating around you. And here's the belief that have seen in other people and in myself as well. I used to say this to myself: if I just made more money, I would be finally be okay. More money means more freedom. More money means more option. More money means you have made it. Making more money means you get to stop worrying. I believe this so completely. I've never questioned it. I hit the salary milestones. I used to think that would change everything. Six figures, then more. And every time the relief lasted about a week. Then the number just became the new normal, and I was back to the same low hum of that self doubt of not being enough and another milestone to achieve. And I was venting to a friend about this, and I told her that I wanted to leave my job, but I was feeling like I can't afford it. And she asked me a question I didn't have an answer for, and she asked me, afford what exactly? And I started listing things like rent, bills, the vague fear of running out. And then she looked at me and said, that's not a money problem, that's a runway problem. And she said that you've never once built a runway for yourself. You've just built a bigger cushion to sit on. And I didn't say anything at that point because she was right. And I hated that she was right. Here's what's actually true: money was never the goal. Money is infrastructure. It is the runway that lets you run an experiment, as simple as that. Whether it's leaving the job, take 3 to 4 months to figure out what you actually want to build, and that too without the experiment killing you financially before it has even had the time to work. So a cushion just sits there, getting bigger, making you feel vaguely safer while you stay exactly where you are. But runway has a direction, runway has an expiration date on purpose, so you actually use it. This distinction changes everything about how you save and why you save. So I stopped asking, how do I make more, and started asking a completely different question: what experiment is this money going to fund for me? And how many months of it can I buy myself right now? Not someday, but literally right now, and with what I already have. And here's the practical consequence, because this is not just a nicer way to think about your bank, but it changes your actual behavior. So when money is a status, you save towards a number that keeps moving, because status is relative and there is always someone with more. You're always stuck in that hamster wheel and comparing yourself with others. So when money is infrastructure, you save towards a runway, a specific number of months, funding a specific goal, experiment, outcome, and that number is finite. You can actually hit it. And once you hit it, you are not richer, but you are free to test something, which is completely different feeling than being richer. And it's the one that you were chasing in the first place. So that's about it. And I want to be honest about the limits of this, because I'm not going to pretend money does not matter. If you don't have enough to cover the basics, infrastructure thinking is not going to fix that. That's a real urgent problem that requires a real urgent fix. But this was for a specific trap that I was in: enough money to survive, still feeling stuck and mistaking I need more money. So I still remember the exact number I calculated that week: 6 months, and the actual spending that I needed. And to be honest, it felt smaller and more possible than any salary target I've ever had. So if you have found yourself thinking about the same thing, or were in a similar trap as I was, here's a question to think towards. If you weren't saving towards a bigger number, if you were saving towards a specific experiment with a specific end date, what would you actually be funding? What is your experiment that you would want to work on? And if you're interested in more such ways of thinking about life, work, career, then I talk about a lot of work related, life related stories on this channel. So subscribe if you like.